You skip the workout. You answer the email instead of writing. You say yes when you meant no. In that instant, you got the math wrong. This is an old idea. Socrates argued that nobody does wrong on purpose. Wrongdoing is always done in ignorance. It is an error of knowledge. I am extending that idea into the domain of consistency. When you skip the workout, break your standard, or act out of alignment with your values, you are choosing based on a misjudgment. You misjudge the cost. You misjudge the benefit. You misjudge the trade-off, the future regret, your own strength in the moment. You get the choice wrong. That's the whole of it. An error. Nothing else. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. So let's break down what actually happens when someone fails to be consistent. They do not say, I want to betray my values today. What they say instead, consciously or non-consciously, is, this option seems better right now. And that perception is flawed. It's a cognitive error. Every inconsistency is a moment where judgment fails. This is why consistency is a skill. If this claim is true, self-sabotage, one of the most common ideas in self-help, is removed from the conversation. Self-sabotage does not exist. There is no part of you that wants to ruin your life. There is only conditioning that miscalculates what will help you right now. You have been conditioned by your own choices and by the circumstances of your past to respond to the environment as it is. That is conditioning doing what conditioning does, and it's trainable. Because it is trainable, it can be corrected and prevented. This is where consistency becomes learnable. There is an implication for identity here. If inconsistency is always an error in judgment, then consistency is the ability to see clearly in the moment of choice. Motivation, willpower, and clarity of values all matter less than this one thing. Consistency is the expression of a trained perception. Inconsistency is the expression of a distorted perception. Any reliable practice for building consistency must train the judgment that precedes the action. That is what you are training. The practical consequences follow directly. If inconsistency is error, then the work to become consistent is to correct the misjudgment, strengthen the perception, and train the moment of choice. You need a way to measure your progress. You need daily standards to sharpen against. You need to build alignment between who you are and what you actually do. These are not separate projects. They are the same work expressed in different forms. You are refining your judgment. That's when the whole picture clicked into place. If inconsistency is always an error, then consistency is always a form of truth-telling, of grasping reality. You are telling the truth about what matters, who you are, what you value, what you're building, what you are capable of. Inconsistency is a lie you believe in the moment. Consistency is the truth you act on. This makes inconsistency a cognitive problem. The work to become consistent is to see more clearly in the moment that matters. That moment is coming today. You will either get the math right or you won't. And you will know exactly which one happened, because the choice itself is the only evidence that counts. When you're ready to turn consistency from an idea into a lived experience, start day one inside the Act Score Challenge. Stack the days, practice the reps that reshape your identity. That's it for today. Catch you next time.